The biggest shop.
We're building some of the baddest cars on the planet in Bennington, Nebraska.
With the biggest crew.
14 guys that are passionate about cars.
And the biggest gear.
This power hammer, biggest one they make.
Can anyone knock off the two-time reigning Barrett-Jackson Cup winner?
You guys better bring something better because we're coming to take it.
This is the Path to Performance, presented by Castrol Edge.
My name's Andy Leach, owner of Cal Automotive Creations in Bennington, Nebraska. I'm originally from the Omaha area. I grew up in Papillion, which is on the other side of Omaha, and Bennington's awesome. Low-key, everybody knows everybody, and we do whatever we want. We're always out driving these cars around without doors and hoods, and the cops know what we're doing. They just wave, they know what's going on. So we're out here just kind of hiding down here in the creek in the corner back here and building some of the baddest cars on the planet. Cal Automotive Creations has been a dream of mine since I was about 14 years old. Always been into art, used to sit and just draw for hours. If I wasn't drawing, I was kind of the nerd kid building Legos or messing with something. And sports was a big part of my life. Grew up playing soccer and baseball and basketball and football. And my dad, him and I were going to a soccer tournament in Lincoln, Nebraska, and he happened to see a 34 Chevy sitting at a dealership, and we ended up being really late to the game because went and checked it out, and he ended up buying the car, and right then was the fork in the road where cars took over. It was just that creative side of the art side went strictly to cars. We were building a 52 Chevy Coupe, him and I, and just building it there in my parents' garage. But yeah, we were building that car, and my dad passed away in 2000, and honestly, I lost everything for that car. My buddy wasn't there, so I just quit on the car, and that was that. But I wish we'd have finished that car. I wish I would have now, but it's long gone. I don't even know where it went. And then that's when I took a job with Troy Trepanier, Rad Rides by Troy, in Manteno, Illinois. I was up there for 5 years. Troy was a guy I looked up to and a huge inspirational part of my life. And now he's judging the Barrett-Jackson Cup down in Scottsdale. And then back in Nebraska in 2010, I was going through a divorce, had my daughter full custody. Madison was with me all the time. And I met Ron Sizek, and he presented the 40 Ford, and it was just supposed to be a nice car. That's it. And he recognized it very quickly. I'm not here 8 to 5. I'm here every second I can be building this 40 Ford. And he goes, well, heck, if you want to make a company, why don't you just build the car how you want to do it? And I said, okay. And he just let me run wild with the car. And Ron said, let's take it to Riddler in Detroit. And I go, well, that's a whole different car, but we can do it. He goes, well, do it. So that was the first time I'm the lead guy calling all the shots, and and I'm kind of a nervous wreck there at the end, because it's like, what if I forgot that fitting, or what if I forgot to send this piece off for plating or whatnot. Going into the awards ceremony that night, I literally had like $6 to my name. And the car ended up winning, and it definitely changed my life right then and there. My phone was ringing, so big props to Ron. He just let me go with it and funded that whole deal to get us basically where we are now. Wouldn't be there without the 40 Ford, which became known as Checkered Past, winning the 2013 Riddler. I knew my wife, Annalie, before she knew me.
My name is Andy Leach. I first met Andy when I was 21 years old. I was living with my parents down the street from him.
My daughter Madison and Annalie's son Skylar are best friends. I mean, you couldn't split those two up for nothing.
He says he asked me out a few times, but I didn't see them as being asked out. He invited Skylar to go with him and Madison to the arcade or get pizza or something, and I said, sure, Skylar can go, and then immediately text my girlfriend, hey, I have a babysitter, So then I made plans.
Our first date was down to a World of Wheels car show.
So I talked the kids into going to the show, and he got us the tickets, and they started following us around. And I'm like, who is this guy? I thought I was getting free tickets. And people were walking up to him, hey man, I love your car, and wow, are you hiring? And I'm like, who is this guy?
She's like, why are all these people talking to you? And the 40 happened to be there that year, and I'm like, well, I built this car, this is what I do.
Previously, he had told me he was a welder, so I just thought he worked in some manufacturing company. And so that intrigued me.
She's a car girl at heart, so we instantly had a tie there together.
I had a little boy, he had a little girl, and we both raised our children alone. And then when we came together, having a blended family is tough because we have a culture in our home and they had a culture in their home. So the kids, since they were friends, that made it easier. And then once we had our own baby together, that was like the puzzle piece that fit us all together. It was no longer my dad, your mom, it was our brother or our baby. So then we had another one, Aspen. So we have 4 kids together.
She's amazing. She's the brains of the operation. She's a lot of fun and couldn't do life without her. What started off as let's build a 40 Ford and take it to Detroit and see what happens, it turned into full-blown business now. We got 14 guys and we keep adding, and about 14 cars I think we got right now. And It's crazy. Eric Hansen, he's my first employee, most talented human being on the planet. Whatever you give the guy a task, he pulls it off. He calls it the Hansen magic.
This is a Bailey power hammer, the biggest one they make. I'm doing a linear stretch die, so I'm stretching it this direction, stretching out. And what that's doing is taking that metal and lifting it like this. So now I'm gonna kind of try to taper it and kind of blend it out so it's all a nice uniform piece.
I've known Rick Golfers for about 10 years. We don't even need a forklift because we've got Rick here. He just picks shit up, so.
So this needs to be painted again so we can put it in, so we can put that
Paul
in.
Carona from Australia.
We can make the other piece of this side, so then we can make the other piece that you can paint.
He's a hoot.
I'm chasing my dream of building hot rods in America.
Grant does a lot of SolidWorks and fusion modeling. Just give him a task and he figures it out, and there we go.
I program a good majority of our parts, so I am programming different parts, different things for this 3-4 days a week.
And Rick Golfer's dad is also named Rick, so we call him Little Ricky. He machines a lot of these parts for all these cars.
This is a Haas BM6. It has a lot of travel, which allows us to run bigger parts. We're using this Castrol coolant. It's a low foam factor. It's good for brass, copper, aluminum, steel. I've used it for pretty much all of those, and it's really turned out well.
If you're down all the time changing coolant, well, you're not making parts. So this Castrol coolant lasts basically forever, it seems like, and you only want the best. That's why we go to Castrol for all our stuff. Very fortunate to have all these guys that are very passionate about cars, because that's what makes this happen. We like to build cars that stand the test of time. We like to say it's sophisticated simplicity, and that's basically what our cars are. They look simple, but we're messing with every square inch of that car, and we're doing it for a reason. It's to better improve the car. And here we are building a 56 Thunderbird for Beth Myers, and you don't want to veer too far away from being a Thunderbird, because that's why Beth picked the Thunderbird. She loves the Thunderbird, so why would you build some crazy spaceship when it's a 56 Thunderbird? So we have a Bowler transmission. We had Roadster Shop build the chassis, set to our ride heights with the tire heights we wanted, and the Roush motor. So everything's built around everything we specified. You know, in a sense, you're just turning this 56 Thunderbird into a new car, but it's still a 56 Thunderbird. But with all the details and machining trim and headlight bezels, taillight bezels, and taillight lenses, and you know, you're really creating a rolling sculpture. Basically, you're trying to take what Ford built, which was beautiful, and just perfect it.
We would love to win the Barrett-Jackson Cup because it shows the quality of work that Andy and the Cal guys actually produce. These guys work hard and they're really good at their craft, and I think it would just prove that they're building quality cars that are artistic, that the public likes, that collectors like, and that would be just a huge honor.
We won the Barrett-Jackson Cup in 2015 with a charcoal 62 bubble top. We won it last year with a 60 Buick Invicta, and here we go again. We're bringing the best little Thunderbird we could. It'd be the third time, and I don't think there's any other builder that's done that. So we're gonna try to go back to back this year, and we're bringing this killer little car. So you guys better bring something better, because we're coming to take it.